Captain Kim Dae-ho stood on the bridge of the UES Nightborne, watching the stars through the massive viewing screen. The ship was huge, bigger than any other human vessel ever built. Its weapons could destroy entire fleets, and its armor could take hits from the strongest missiles. But right now, the captain felt worried. The bridge was quiet, except for the soft hum of computers. Commander Park Mina sat at her station, checking weapon systems. Dr. Lee Woo-jin worked at his science console, studying star maps. The other crew members moved around doing their jobs, but everyone seemed tense. "Captain," said Communications, Officer Kang Yu-jin from her station. "We have a message from Earth Command. It's marked as top secret." Kim Dae-ho walked over to the main communication screen. "Put it through to my private channel." The screen showed Admiral Chen, head of Earth's Space Forces. His face looked grim. "Captain Kim, we have a serious problem. 3 of our colonies have gone completely silent. New Busan, Terra Nova, and Harmony Station. No messages, no emergency signals, nothing." The captain felt his stomach drop. "When did this happen, sir?" New Busan went quiet first, 72 hours ago. Terra Nova stopped talking 24 hours later. Harmony Station went silent yesterday. Each colony just stopped all communication at once. No warning, no distress calls. Dr. Lee Woo-jin looked up from his station. "Sir, may I ask about the technical details?" Admiral Chen nodded. "Doctor, we checked everything. The colony's power systems are still working. We can see lights on the night sides of the planets, but no one is answering any calls. It's like everyone just disappeared." Commander Park Mina turned in her chair. "Could it be equipment failure? 3 different colonies with different systems failing at the same time?" "No chance," the Admiral said. "Something or someone is responsible for this. We need the Nightborne to investigate." Captain Kim Dae-ho felt the weight of command. "What are our orders?" "Go to the Kepler sector. Find out what happened to our people. If there's a threat, deal with it. The Nightborne is our most powerful ship. If anyone can handle this, it's your crew." "Understood, Admiral. We'll leave immediately." The communication ended. Kim Dae-ho looked around the bridge at his crew. These people had been with him through many dangerous missions. They were the best humans could offer. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook, set course for the Kepler sector. Best speed. "Yes, Captain. Course plotted. We can reach New Busan in 6 days." Chief Engineer Yoon Sora, the captain called to the engineering station. "I want all systems checked. If we're going into unknown danger, everything needs to work perfectly." "Already on it, Captain. All weapons are ready, shields are at full power, and the engines are running smooth." Dr. Lee Woo-jin stood up from his station. "Captain, I've been looking at the data from the colonies. There's something strange about the timing." "What do you mean?" "The colonies didn't just stop talking randomly. Look at this." The doctor put a chart on the main screen. New Busan went silent at exactly 14:30 local time. Terra Nova stopped at 14:30 their time, too. Harmony Station, same thing. "Commander." Park Mina studied the chart. "That's not a coincidence. Someone planned this." "But who?" asked Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin. "We haven't met any alien species yet, and no human group has the power to attack 3 colonies at once." The Bay captain thought about this. In all of human history, they had never found intelligent alien life. Earth's colonies were spread across many star systems, but they had always been alone. The idea that something else was out there, something powerful enough to attack human worlds, was frightening. Maybe we're not alone anymore, Kim Dae-ho said quietly. The bridge became very quiet. Everyone was thinking the same thing. If aliens existed, and if they were hostile, humanity could be in great danger. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo came onto the bridge. He was the leader of the ship's Marines, the soldiers who fought on the ground. Captain, I heard about the colonies. My troops are ready for anything. Good. We don't know what we'll find out there. Dr. Lee Woo-jin was still studying his data. Captain, there's something else. I'm reading very faint energy signatures from all 3 colony locations. The patterns are unlike anything in our databases. What kind of energy? I'm not sure. It's very advanced, more sophisticated than our technology. But it's also very subtle, like whoever used it didn't want to be detected. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra looked worried. If someone has technology better than ours, we could be in trouble. Captain Kim Dae-ho walked to the center of the bridge. Listen, everyone. We don't know what happened to those colonies. Maybe it was natural disasters, maybe equipment failures, or maybe something else, but those are our people out there. Human families, children, workers who left Earth to build new homes among the stars. He looked at each crew member. The Nightborne is humanity's strongest ship. We have the best weapons, the best shields, and the best crew. Whatever we find in the Kepler sector, we'll handle it. Commander Park Mina nodded. The crew is ready, Captain. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook. How long until we reach the edge of known space? 18 hours, sir. Good. I want everyone to rest and prepare. Dr. Lee Woo-jin, keep studying those energy readings. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra, make sure our stealth systems are working. If something dangerous is out there, I want to see it before it sees us. As the crew went back to their work, Kim Dae-ho remained standing in the center of the bridge. Outside the viewing screen, stars moved slowly past as the ship traveled through hyperspace. Earth was far behind them now. Ahead was the unknown. The captain had commanded the Nightborne for 5 years. They had fought space pirates, explored new worlds, and protected human colonies from asteroids and other dangers. But this felt different. The silence from the 3 colonies was unnatural, frightening. If aliens had attacked human worlds, this would be humanity's first contact with intelligent life from other planets. And if those aliens were hostile, the Nightborne might be humanity's only hope. The ship continued its journey through the darkness of space, carrying its crew toward a mystery that would change everything humanity thought they knew about the universe. The UES Nightborne dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the new Busan system. Captain Kim Dae-ho stood on the bridge looking at the planet on the main screen. From space, everything looked normal. The cities were still there. Lights were on, and the orbital stations were in their proper positions. Scan the planet, the captain ordered. Dr. Lee Woo-jin worked at his science station. Life support systems are working. Power plants are running. I can see vehicles moving in the cities, but I'm not detecting any human life signs. Commander Park Mina frowned. How is that possible? The colony had over 2 million people. I don't know. The scanners show everything working normally, but no people anywhere. Captain Kim Dae-ho felt cold fear growing in his chest. Communications. Officer Kang Yoo-jin. Try to contact the surface. Yes, sir. Yoo-jin worked at her station for several minutes. No response on any frequency. Emergency channels, civilian radio, even the automatic beacon systems. Everything is silent. Navigation. Officer Han Ji-wook looked up from his controls. Captain, I'm detecting something strange. The orbital traffic control system is still working, but there are no ships moving. All the civilian spacecraft are just floating in space. As if everyone stopped what they were doing at the exact same moment. Dr. Lee Woo-jin said quietly. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo stepped forward. Captain, request permission to take a team to the surface. We need to see what happened down there. Kim Dae-ho thought for a moment. Permission granted. Take 20 Marines. I want full armor and weapons. Dr. Lee, go with them. We need a scientist to study whatever you find. I'll monitor from orbit, Commander Park Mina said. If anything goes wrong, I can provide fire support. The Marines prepared quickly. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo led the team to the shuttle bay. Dr. Lee Woo-jin brought his scientific equipment. As they boarded the shuttle, Chief Engineer Yoon Sora checked all the systems. Everything looks good, she reported. Communications are working, sensors are active, and the shuttle can get back to the ship quickly if needed. The shuttle launched and flew toward New Busan's surface. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook flew the craft, following the normal approach routes that all ships used when visiting the colony. This is strange, Han Ji-wook said as they entered the atmosphere. Air traffic control should be talking to us by now, but there's nothing. They flew over the main city. From above, everything looked normal. Cars were on the roads, lights were on in buildings, and the industrial areas were still running. But there were no people visible anywhere. Set us down in the central plaza, Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo ordered. The shuttle landed in the middle of the city. The Marines got out first, weapons ready. They spread out and checked the area. The plaza was empty, but there were signs that people had been there recently. Food carts were still serving hot food, but no one was taking it. Dr. Lee Woo-jin came out of the shuttle with his equipment. I'm detecting normal atmosphere, no dangerous gases, no radiation. It's safe to breathe. The team moved through the streets. What they found was very disturbing. In a restaurant, tables were set with food that was still warm. Coffee cups were half empty. It looked like people had been eating and then just vanished. Look at this, one of the Marines called out. He was standing next to a hover car that had stopped in the middle of the street. The engine was still running and the door was open. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo examined the car. No signs of struggle, no blood. It's like the driver just got out and walked away. They continued through the city. Every building was the same. Homes with dinner still cooking in the ovens, offices with computers still running and work left half-finished, schools with children's toys scattered on playgrounds, but no children anywhere. Dr. Lee Woo-jin was taking readings with his instruments. I'm detecting traces of an unknown chemical compound in the air, very faint, but it's not natural. What kind of compound? The lieutenant colonel asked. I'm not sure. It's unlike anything in our databases. It seems to be some kind of complex organic molecule, but not from any Earth-based life form. Communications Officer Kang Yoo-jin's voice came through their radio. Communicators from the ship. Ground team, we're monitoring your progress. Any sign of what happened to the colonists? Negative, Cho Hyun-woo replied. It's like they all just disappeared at the same time. The team moved to the Colonial Administration building, hoping to find records or security footage. Inside, they found the main computer system still running. Dr. Lee Woo-jin connected his equipment to access the files. The last entry in the colony's log was made at 14:29 local time, 1 minute before the communication stopped, he reported. The administrator was writing a routine report about food supplies. What about security? Cameras? Asked one of the Marines. Dr. Lee Woo-jin worked at the computer for several minutes. Most of the security footage from that day has been erased, but I found one partial file that wasn't completely deleted. He played the file on the computer screen. It showed the main plaza at 14:30. People were walking around normally, going about their daily business. Then the image became fuzzy and distorted. When it cleared a few seconds later, the plaza was empty. "That's impossible, Lieutenant," Colonel Cho Hyun-woo said. "You can't make 2 million people disappear in a few seconds." Dr. Lee Woo-jin continued searching the computer files. "Wait, I found something else. A partially corrupted transmission that was being sent when the communications went down." He played the audio file. It was very broken up, with lots of static, but they could make out some words. "Unknown ships in orbit. Technology unlike anything. They're using some kind of... The people are just... Oh God, they're not killing them. They're taking them. This is Administrator Park. If anyone receives this message, warn Earth. The Veil Collective. They harvest." The transmission ended in static. "The Veil Collective?" Cho Hyun-woo repeated. "What is that?" Dr. Lee Woo-jin was studying his readings again. "I'm detecting quantum resonance patterns in the atmosphere. These patterns suggest the use of advanced teleportation technology. Someone used very sophisticated equipment to transport large numbers of people. From orbit, Commander Park Min-na's voice came through their communicators. "Ground team, I'm picking up energy signatures moving toward your position. Something is coming." Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo immediately ordered his Marines to defensive positions. "How many contacts?" 3. "Objects moving fast. They don't match any known human technology." Dr. Lee Woo-jin quickly gathered his equipment. "We need to get back to the shuttle. I have enough data to analyze back on the ship." The team ran back to the central plaza where their shuttle was waiting. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook already had the engines running. As they climbed aboard, they could see 3 strange objects in the sky moving toward them. "They look like ships, but the design is completely alien," one of the Marines said, looking through his weapon's scope. The shuttle took off quickly, flying back toward the Nightborne. Behind them, the alien ships followed for a short distance, then stopped and returned to the planet. "Captain," Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo reported over the radio, "we found evidence of advanced alien technology. The colonists weren't killed, they were taken. Someone called the Veil Collective is responsible." Captain Kim Dae-ho's voice was grim. "Return to the ship immediately. We need to analyze your findings and decide our next move." As the shuttle docked with the Nightborne, Dr. Lee Woo-jin was already working on his data. The chemical traces, the quantum signatures, and the partial transmission all pointed to the same conclusion. Humanity was not alone in the universe, and their new neighbors were not friendly. The ghost city of New Busan below them was proof that something very dangerous was hunting human colonies, taking entire populations for unknown purposes. And according to the broken transmission, there were 2 more colonies that had suffered the same fate. The UES Nightborne moved through space toward Terra Nova, the second colony that had gone silent. Captain Kim Dae-ho studied the reports from New Busan while his crew prepared for whatever they might find. Dr. Lee Woo-jin had been working for hours analyzing the data from the abandoned colony. "Captain, I've learned more about this Veil Collective. The quantum signatures suggest they use technology based on manipulating space and time itself." "How advanced are we talking about, Commander?" Park Mina asked. "Far beyond anything humans have developed. They can teleport large numbers of people instantly, phase their ships in and out of normal space, and their energy weapons work on principles we don't understand." Chief Engineer Yoon Sora looked worried. "If their technology is that advanced, how can we fight them?" Before anyone could answer, Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin called out from her station. "Captain, I'm detecting ships ahead. They're not human." "On screen," Kim Dae-ho ordered. The main viewing screen showed 3 alien vessels unlike anything humans had ever seen. One ship looked like it was made of living crystal, its surface shifting and changing colors. Another appeared to be constructed from black metal with insect-like shapes and moving parts. The third ship was the strangest of all. It seemed to be made of pure energy, barely visible except for the way it bent light around itself. "Those must be the Veil Collective," Dr. Li Wu-jin said quietly. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo came onto the bridge. "Captain, my Marines are ready for action. Reduce speed," Kim Dae-ho ordered Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook. "I want to observe these ships before they detect us." The Nightborne slowed down and activated its stealth systems. Chief Engineer Yoon Sora monitored the ship's energy output to keep them hidden. "What are they doing?" Commander Park Mina asked. Dr. Li Wu-jin studied his sensors. "They appear to be scanning Terra Nova. The same quantum signatures I detected at New Busan are present here too." As they watched, more alien ships appeared around Terra Nova. The crystal ship sent out waves of strange energy toward the planet. The insect-like ship released smaller craft that flew down to the surface. The energy ship simply disappeared and reappeared in different locations instantly. "By the stars," Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin whispered. "They're harvesting another colony right now." Captain Kim Dae-ho felt anger building inside him. These aliens were stealing human beings like they were collecting resources. "Can we help the colonists?" Dr. Li Wu-jin shook his head sadly. "The teleportation process has already begun. I'm detecting the same quantum patterns as New Busan. The people are being taken." Suddenly, alarms started ringing on the bridge. "Captain," Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra called out, "they've detected us. Our stealth systems can't hide us from their sensors." The alien ships turned toward the Nightborne. The crystal ship sent out a beam of light that seemed to scan their vessel. The insect ship launched several smaller attack craft. The energy ship simply vanished and appeared much closer to them. "Red alert," Captain Kim Dae-ho ordered. "All hands to battle stations. Raise shields and charge weapons." Commander Park Mina took control of the weapon systems. "Weapons ready, Captain, but we don't know how effective they'll be against alien technology." The alien ships moved with impossible grace and speed. The crystal ship fired a beam of pure energy that struck the Nightborne's shields. The shields held, but the power readings showed the alien weapon was incredibly strong. "Return fire," the captain ordered. The Nightborne's main guns fired at the crystal ship. The plasma bolts struck the alien vessel, but instead of exploding, they seemed to be absorbed into the crystal hull. The ship's surface glowed brighter for a moment, then returned to normal. "Our weapons aren't working," Commander Park Mina reported. "They're absorbing our energy attacks." The insect ship attacked next. It fired strange projectiles that seemed to phase in and out of reality. When they hit the Nightborne's hull, they passed right through the armor and exploded inside the ship. "Hull breach on Deck 7, Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra called out. "Those projectiles are bypassing our shield somehow." The most frightening attack came from the energy ship. It sent out waves of invisible force that seemed to affect the crew's minds. Several bridge officers collapsed, holding their heads in pain. Dr. Li Wu-jin fought through the mental attack. "They're using neural disruption fields. They're trying to incapacitate our crew without destroying the ship." Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo helped the affected crew members. "They want to capture us alive, just like the colonists." Captain Kim Dae-ho realized they were facing an enemy unlike anything humans had ever fought. These aliens didn't just have better weapons. They had completely different ways of fighting. They could phase through solid matter, manipulate minds, and absorb energy attacks. "Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook, get us out of here," he ordered. "I'm trying, Captain, but they're jamming our hyperspace systems." The alien ships continued their attack. The crystal ship fired again. This time the beam passed through the Nightborne's shields like they weren't there. The insect ship's smaller craft swarmed around the human vessel, firing weapons that seemed to convert matter into energy. The energy ship appeared inside the Nightborne's shields and began scanning their technology. But something unexpected happened. As the aliens studied the human ship, they seemed confused by what they found. The crystal ship's attacks became less accurate. The insect ship's craft began flying in erratic patterns. The energy ship flickered and seemed to have trouble maintaining its form. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra noticed it first. "Captain, their attack patterns are becoming less coordinated. It's like they don't understand our ship's design." Dr. Lee Woo-jin was studying the alien behavior through his sensors. "I think I know why. Human ships are built for war. We expect to take damage and keep fighting. Our systems have multiple backups, our hull can absorb tremendous punishment, and our crew is trained to fight through catastrophic failures." Commander Park Mina understood. These aliens are used to fighting enemies that surrender quickly when faced with superior technology. "But humans don't surrender," Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo added grimly. Captain Kim Dae-ho saw an opportunity. "Chief Engineer, reroute all power to the main engines. I don't care if we lose weapons and shields." "Sir, that's very dangerous. If they hit us without shields, do it." "Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook, as soon as we have power, jump to hyperspace. Any direction, just get us away from here." Yoon So-ra worked frantically at her controls. "Power rerouted. Engines at maximum. Jump!" the captain ordered. The Nightborne disappeared into hyperspace just as the alien ships fired their most powerful weapons at the spot where the human vessel had been. In the safety of hyperspace, the crew worked to repair the damage from the battle. Dr. Lee Woo-jin analyzed everything they had learned about the alien ships and weapons. "Captain, I have some important findings," he reported. "These aliens have never fought a prolonged battle. Their tactics assume that superior technology will quickly end any conflict. They don't know how to fight an enemy that refuses to give up. What else did you learn?" "The crystal ships appear to be from a species that thinks logically but can't. Adapt quickly to unexpected situations. The insect ships belong to some kind of hive mind that becomes confused when their coordination is disrupted. The energy ships are the most dangerous, but they seem to require a lot of power to maintain their form." Commander Park Mina studied the tactical data. "So they're powerful, but they have weaknesses." "Every enemy has weaknesses," Captain Kim Dae-ho said. "We just need to find them and exploit them." Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra had finished her damage assessment. "Captain, we lost some equipment, but the ship is still battle-ready. More importantly, I was able to scan their technology during the fight. I have some ideas about how we might modify our weapons and shields." "How long until our next encounter with them?" Dr. Lee Woo-jin checked his calculations. "Based on their movement patterns and the location of human colonies, they'll probably attack Harmony Station next. We could reach there in 2 days if we push the engines." Captain Kim Dae-ho looked around the bridge at his crew. They had just faced an enemy with technology far beyond anything humans possessed, and they had survived. More than that, they had learned valuable information about how these aliens fought and thought. "Set course for Harmony Station," he ordered. "We're going to be ready for them next time." The Nightborne flew through hyperspace toward another confrontation with the Veil Collective, but now the crew knew what they were fighting, and they had seen that even advanced aliens could be surprised by human determination and adaptability. The UES Nightborne arrived at Harmony Station just as the Vale Collective fleet was beginning their harvesting operation. Captain Kim Dae-ho watched 6 alien ships surrounding the space station where 50,000 humans lived and worked. There, already starting the process, Dr. Lee Woo-jin reported from his science station. I'm detecting the same quantum signatures we saw at the other colonies. Commander Park Mina studied the tactical display. 6 ships against 1. Not good odds. We can't let them take another colony, Captain Kim Dae-ho said firmly. All hands to battle stations. This time we fight. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo came onto the bridge. Captain, my Marines are ready. We've prepared special equipment based on what we learned from the last encounter. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra had been working non-stop since their escape from Terra Nova. Captain, I've made modifications to our weapons and shields. I can't promise they'll work, but we have a better chance now. The alien fleet consisted of 2 crystal ships, 3 insect ships, and 1 energy ship. They moved in perfect formation around Harmony Station, their harvesting beams already pulling people from the station into their holds. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook, take us in. Full speed attack run. Yes, sir. Attack course plotted. Dr. Lee Woo-jin had been studying the alien ship's formation. Captain, I noticed something. They position themselves in a pattern that assumes their enemy will attack from one direction. If we hit them from an unexpected angle, we might disrupt their coordination. What do you recommend? Come in from below the orbital plane. Their sensors seem focused on monitoring normal approach routes. Captain Kim Dae-ho nodded. Do it. Communications Officer Kang Yoo-jin. Try to contact Harmony Station. Warn them we're coming in. I'm trying, Captain, but the aliens are jamming most communications. I can only get through on emergency frequencies. The Nightborne approached from below, using the station's bulk to hide their approach. The alien ships didn't detect them until they were already in weapon range. Fire! Commander Park Mina ordered. This time, the Nightborne's weapons had been modified based on Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra's analysis of alien technology. Instead of standard plasma bolts, the ship fired concentrated electromagnetic pulses designed to disrupt the aliens' quantum systems. The first pulse hit one of the crystal ships. Instead of absorbing the energy like before, the crystal hull flickered and became unstable. The alien ship spun out of control, its harvesting beam cutting off. It worked, Yoon So-ra called out excitedly. The electromagnetic pulse disrupted their quantum field generators. The alien fleet immediately turned to attack the Nightborne. But this time, the human ship was ready. Commander Park Mina had studied their attack patterns and knew what to expect. Incoming phase projectiles, she announced. Rotating shield frequency now. The insect ships fired their reality-phasing weapons, but the Nightborne's shields had been modified to rapidly change their quantum frequency. The alien projectiles couldn't lock onto a stable target and passed harmlessly through empty space. The energy ship tried its neural disruption attack, but Dr. Lee Woo-jin had prepared countermeasures. Activating mental shielding, he called, out. The bridge crew wore special headsets that protected them from the alien mind weapons. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook flew the ship in patterns that the aliens couldn't predict. Instead of the steady, logical flight paths that most species used, he flew like a human pilot, creative, unpredictable, and willing to take dangerous risks. They can't track us, he reported with satisfaction. Their targeting systems are designed for enemies that fly in straight lines. The battle became chaotic. The alien ships tried to use their superior technology, but the humans fought back with determination and creativity that the Vale Collective had never encountered. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra discovered something important during the fight. Captain, their ships are incredibly advanced, but they're not built for extended combat. The crystal ships are losing power, and the insect ships are overheating. They're used to quick victories, Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo observed, but we're not giving them one. Commander Park Mi-na targeted the weakest crystal ship with everything they had. The modified weapons tore through the alien vessel's failing shields. For the first time in the battle, a Veil Collective ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The destruction of one of their ships seemed to shock the remaining aliens. Their formation broke apart, and they began fighting more defensively. They're not used to losing ships, Dr. Lee Woo-jin noted. This might be the first time in centuries that anyone has destroyed one of their vessels. The energy ship tried to escape by teleporting away, but Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin had been studying their quantum communication system. "I'm jamming their coordinates," she announced. "They can't accurately teleport while I'm disrupting their navigation signals." The energy ship appeared and disappeared randomly around the battlefield, unable to control where it materialized. Finally, it appeared directly in front of the Nightborne's main guns. "Fire everything," Captain Kim Dae-ho ordered. The concentrated firepower destabilized the energy ship's form. It flickered wildly and then collapsed into a small bright star that quickly faded away. 2 alien ships destroyed, 4 remaining. But the battle was taking its toll on the Nightborne. The hull had been damaged in several places, and some weapon systems were failing. The crew was exhausted from fighting an enemy that used completely unfamiliar tactics. Captain, Chief Engineer Yoon Sora called out, "We're down to 60% power. I can't maintain full shields and weapons much longer." The remaining alien ships regrouped and prepared for a coordinated attack. But something unexpected happened. As they moved into formation, they intercepted a communication from somewhere else in the galaxy. Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin managed to decode part of the message. "Captain, they're receiving orders from their commanders. Something about a full extermination fleet being sent to Earth." The words hit the bridge crew like a physical blow. The aliens weren't just harvesting isolated colonies anymore. They were planning to attack humanity's homeworld. "How long until this fleet reaches Earth?" Captain Kim Dae-ho demanded. Dr. Lee Woo-jin worked frantically at his calculations. Based on the quantum signature patterns and the distance to Earth, maybe 6 weeks. The alien ships were still fighting, but now Captain Kim Dae-ho had a more important mission than winning this battle. Humanity needed to be warned about the coming invasion. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook, prepare for emergency hyperspace jump. We need to get this information to Earth Command. Course plotted, Captain. Ready on your order. Commander Park Mi-na fired a final barrage at the alien ships to keep them busy. "We can't save Harmony Station, but we can make sure Earth is ready for them." "Jump," the captain ordered. The Nightborne disappeared into hyperspace, leaving the Veil Collective ships behind. The humans had won their first real victory against the aliens, destroying 2 advanced ships and proving that the Collective could be beaten. But they had also learned something terrifying. The aliens were done with small harvesting operations. They were sending their main fleet to destroy Earth and end the human threat once and for all. As the ship flew through hyperspace toward Earth, Dr. Lee Woo-jin continued analyzing the data from the battle. "Captain, I have good news and bad news." "Give me the bad news first." The extermination fleet is huge. Based on the communication we intercepted, it's at least 50 ships, maybe more. Much larger than anything we can fight with conventional tactics. And the good news? We proved that humans can fight them and win. Their technology is superior, but their tactics are predictable. They've never faced an enemy that combines advanced technology with human creativity and stubbornness. Captain Kim Dae-ho looked around the bridge at his crew. They were tired, wounded, and their ship was damaged. But they had just accomplished something that no one in the galaxy had done in millions of years. They had defeated the Veil Collective. In open battle. "Set course for Earth, best speed," he ordered. "Humanity has 6 weeks to prepare for the fight of our lives." The Nightborne raced through space, carrying the knowledge that would either save humanity or witness its destruction. The real war was just beginning. The UES Nightborne hid in the shadow of a large asteroid, while the crew analyzed what they had learned from their battles with the Veil Collective. Captain Kim Dae-ho had ordered complete radio silence while they studied the alien technology they had captured. Dr. Lee Woo-jin worked with pieces of the destroyed crystal ship that had been pulled into the Nightborne's cargo bay. "This is remarkable," he said, holding up a fragment that still glowed with inner light. "Their technology is based on living crystal that can store and process incredible amounts of information." Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra examined the wreckage of alien weapons. "Look at this design philosophy. Everything is built for maximum efficiency and minimum waste. But there's no redundancy, no backup systems. If one component fails, the entire weapon stops working." Commander Park Min-na studied tactical recordings from their battles. "I've been analyzing their fighting patterns. They always use the same formations, the same attack sequences. It's like they're following a manual that never gets updated." Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo looked up from his own analysis. "That's because they've never needed to adapt. Think about it. For millions of years, they've been the most advanced species in the galaxy. Every enemy they've fought has been weaker than them." Captain Kim Dae-ho walked between the workstations, listening to his crew's discoveries. "So what makes humans different?" "Everything," Dr. Lee Woo-jin replied. "Most species they harvest are either peaceful explorers who surrender when faced with superior force or warrior races that fight in predictable patterns. Humans are something new." Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin had been studying the alien communication systems. "I've been analyzing their transmissions. Their 3 species work together, but they think very differently. The crystal beings make decisions based on pure logic. The insect species follows hive mind commands without question. The energy beings seem to think they're superior to all physical life forms. None of them understand human psychology," Commander Park Min-na observed. "We're not logical like machines. We don't follow orders blindly like insects, and we definitely don't think we're better than everyone else just because we're different." Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra held up a piece of alien hull material. "Their ships are incredibly advanced, but they're built for fighting enemies who use similar technology. Look at this. It's designed to absorb energy weapons and deflect particle beams, but it's vulnerable to simple kinetic impacts." "You mean our old-fashioned projectile weapons work better than our energy guns?" Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo asked. "Not exactly, but close. They've never faced an enemy that uses both advanced technology and primitive tactics at the same time." Dr. Lee Woo-jin brought up a holographic display showing human and alien ship designs. "This is the key difference. Human ships are built for war. We expect to take damage, lose systems, and keep fighting. Our designs include multiple backup systems, redundant power supplies, and modular components that can be quickly repaired. Because humans have been fighting each other for thousands of years," Captain Kim Dae-ho said grimly. "We know how to build ships that can survive in battle. The aliens build ships for efficient harvesting operations against weaker enemies. Commander Park Mina added. They've never faced opponents who fight back effectively. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook looked up from his calculations. I've been studying their movement patterns. They always follow the most efficient routes between planets. They never take unexpected paths or use deception. It's like they can't imagine why anyone would waste energy on tactics that aren't mathematically optimal. That's going to be their downfall, Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo said with satisfaction. Human military doctrine is built around doing things that don't make sense to the enemy. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra activated her portable workstation. I've been thinking about how to modify our weapons and ship systems. If we combine human engineering with captured alien technology, we might be able to create weapons they've never seen before. She showed the crew her design concepts. Take our kinetic projectiles and give them alien phasing technology. They'll pass through enemy shields and hit the hull directly, or use their quantum manipulation technology to make our shields unpredictable. Dr. Lee Woo-jin was excited by the possibilities. We could also use their teleportation technology, but in ways they don't expect. Instead of teleporting entire ships, we teleport weapons or even people into unexpected locations. Boarding parties? Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo asked with interest. Exactly. They're not used to fighting inside their own ships. Their security systems are designed to keep harvested populations contained, not to fight trained soldiers. Communications Officer Kang Yoo-jin had been listening to alien communications from across the galaxy. I'm learning more about how they think. The collective operates like a business. They harvest species efficiently and move on to the next target. They don't understand the concept of total war. What do you mean? Captain Kim Dae-ho asked. They fight to achieve specific objectives, capture populations, secure resources, expand territory. But humans fight to win completely. When we're threatened, we don't just fight to survive. We fight to make sure the threat can never hurt us again. Commander Park Mina understood immediately. They think in terms of limited conflicts with clear goals. They don't understand that humans will keep fighting until the enemy is completely destroyed. Dr. Lee Woo-jin pulled up more data from the alien ships they had destroyed. There's something else. Their species are very old and very set in their ways. They've been using the same technology and tactics for millions of years. They don't innovate or adapt quickly. But humans have only been in space for a few centuries, Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra pointed out. Our technology is constantly changing and improving. That's our advantage, Captain Kim Dae-ho realized. They're advanced but static. We're primitive but adaptive. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo was studying the alien weapon fragments. Look at these neural disruptors. They're designed to affect species with specific brain chemistry. But they didn't work very well on humans because our brains are more complex and chaotic than they expected. Human consciousness is messy, Dr. Lee Woo-jin agreed. We don't think in orderly patterns like their species do. That makes us harder to predict and control. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook brought up star charts showing the locations of alien fleets. Based on their movement patterns, I think I can predict where they'll attack next. They always choose the most efficient targets, colonies with large populations and valuable resources. Which means they'll go after Earth eventually, Communications Officer Kang Yoo-jin said soberly. It has the largest human population and the most advanced technology. Captain Kim Dae-ho looked at the tactical displays showing the alien extermination fleet heading toward Earth. How long do we have? 5 weeks, maybe less, Dr. Lee Woo-jin calculated. They're moving faster now, that they consider humans a serious threat. Then we need to get back to Earth and share everything we've learned, the captain decided. But first, I want to test our new weapons and tactics. Chief Engineer Yoon Sora, how long to implement your modifications? Give me 12 hours and I can have prototype systems ready for testing. Do it. We're going to hit the aliens again before they reach Earth. But this time, we'll be ready for them. As the crew worked to modify their ship with hybrid human-alien technology, Captain Kim Dae-ho thought about what they had discovered. The Veil Collective was ancient, powerful, and efficient, but they had never faced an enemy like humanity. Humans were young, crude, and chaotic by galactic standards, but they were also adaptive, determined, and absolutely ruthless when threatened. The aliens thought in terms of harvesting and efficiency. Humans thought in terms of survival and victory. The coming battle would determine which philosophy was stronger, alien perfection or human stubbornness. Captain Kim Dae-ho was betting on human stubbornness. Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin, prepare a message for Earth Command. Tell them everything we've learned about the collective, and tell them that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's that we never give up. The Nightborne continued its modifications in the shadow of the asteroid, preparing to become something the galaxy had never seen before. A human warship enhanced with alien technology and driven by the simple human belief that any enemy can be beaten if you're willing to fight hard enough and think creatively enough. The real war was about to begin, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy what happened when you threatened the wrong species. The UES Nightborne emerged from the asteroid field like a completely different ship. Chief Engineer Yoon Sora had spent 2 weeks installing hybrid human-alien technology throughout the vessel. Now it moved through space with alien stealth systems, fired weapons that combined human kinetics with alien phasing technology, and could teleport boarding parties directly into enemy ships. Captain Kim Dae-ho stood on the bridge, watching a Veil Collective harvesting fleet on the long-range sensors. 3 alien ships were approaching a mining colony in the Outer Rim, preparing to take another population of humans. This time we do things differently, the captain announced to his crew. No warnings, no attempts at communication, no mercy. We hit them exactly the way they've been hitting our colonies. Dr. Lee Woo-jin monitored the alien ships from his science station. 2 crystal ships and 1 insect vessel. Standard harvesting. Formation. They're not expecting any resistance. Commander Park Mina checked the new weapon systems. All hybrid systems are online. Phasing torpedoes loaded, stealth generators active, teleportation system ready. Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin, Captain Kim Dae-ho ordered. Jam all their communication frequencies. I don't want any of these ships sending word about what happens to them. Jamming active, Captain. They're completely cut off from the collective. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook piloted the ship with the new alien propulsion systems. The Nightborne could now move through space almost as silently as the collective's own vessels. We're in position. They still haven't detected us. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo and his Marines were ready with the new teleportation boarding equipment. My teams are prepared to transport directly into their ships. We've studied the internal layouts from the wreckage we captured. Begin. The attack, Captain Kim Dae-ho ordered. Show no mercy. The Nightborne struck without warning. Phasing torpedoes materialized inside the crystal ship's hulls and exploded, destroying vital systems from within. The aliens had no defense against weapons that bypassed their shields completely. The first crystal ship lost power immediately. Its harvesting beam shut down, and the ship began to drift helplessly. Before the crew could react, Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo's Marines teleported directly onto the bridge. Boarding successful, the colonel reported. The crystal beings are completely helpless in hand-to-hand combat. Their technology depends on their ship's systems. The second crystal ship tried to escape, but Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra had modified the Nightborne's weapons to disrupt alien quantum drives. The fleeing ship suddenly found itself unable to enter hyperspace. "Target their communication array," Commander Park Mina ordered. "I don't want them sending any distress signals." More phasing torpedoes struck the crystal ship's communication systems. The vessel went completely silent, unable to call for help or warn other collective fleets about the human attack. The insect ship tried to fight back, launching its smaller attack craft. But Dr. Lee Woo-jin had prepared countermeasures based on their previous encounters. Activating neural scrambling field, their hive-mind coordination is being disrupted. The small attack craft began flying erratically, crashing into each other and their mothership. Without their hive-mind connection, the insect pilots couldn't function effectively. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook brought the Nightborne alongside the crippled insect vessel. "In position for final boarding action." "Do it," Captain Kim Dae-ho ordered. More Marines teleported directly into the insect ship's command center. The aliens had never faced enemies who could appear inside their own vessels instantly. Their security systems were designed to contain harvested populations, not repel armed boarding parties. Within minutes, all 3 alien ships were captured or destroyed. The entire engagement lasted less than an hour. Most importantly, none of the collective vessels had been able to send any communication about the attack. Communications Officer Kang Yoo-jin scanned for any emergency beacons or automatic distress signals. "Nothing, Captain. As far as the collective knows, these ships are still operational and following their harvesting schedule." Dr. Lee Woo-jin studied the captured alien technology. "We're learning more about their command structure. These ships were supposed to report back to a regional fleet commander in 3 days. When they don't report, the collective will send ships to investigate." "Good," Captain Kim Dae-ho said coldly. "Let them come. We'll be waiting." Over the next month, the Nightborne conducted a campaign of systematic destruction against Veil collective forces. They would identify harvesting fleets, approach under stealth, and destroy the alien ships without warning. Every attack was swift, silent, and left no survivors. The psychological impact on the collective was devastating. For the first time in their millions of years of existence, their ships were simply disappearing. Entire fleets would fail to report back to their commanders. Investigation teams sent to find missing ships would also vanish without a trace. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra had perfected their hybrid weapons systems. "Captain, our efficiency is improving with each engagement. The aliens still haven't adapted to our tactics." "They can't adapt," Dr. Lee Woo-jin explained. "Their entire civilization is based on predictable patterns and established procedures. They don't know how to respond to an enemy that refuses to follow the rules." Communications Officer Kang Yoo-jin had been monitoring collective communications across the galaxy. "Their command structure is becoming paranoid and confused. They're starting to recall fleets from harvesting operations because they can't figure out what's happening to their ships." Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo's Marines had become experts at capturing alien technology and intelligence. "We've learned that the collective operates on a schedule that's been the same for thousands of years. They expect resistance to follow predictable patterns: negotiations, formal battles, eventual surrender. But we're not negotiating or fighting formal battles," Commander Park Mina observed with satisfaction. We're hunting them like prey. The most disturbing effect was on the collective's individual species. The crystal beings' logical processes couldn't cope with unexplained disappearances. Their computer-like minds became stuck in endless loops, trying to calculate probabilities for events that defied their understanding. The insect species' hive mind was even more affected. When entire ships vanished without sending any information back to the hive, it created gaps in their collective consciousness that they couldn't process. Some hive clusters began showing signs of madness. The energy beings who had always considered themselves superior to physical life forms were the most shaken. Their ability to exist in pure energy form meant nothing against enemies who could attack from inside their own ships. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook, plot our next target, Captain Kim Dae-ho ordered. There's a major collective staging area, 3 systems away. Intelligence suggests it's where they're gathering ships for the assault on Earth. How many ships? Dr. Lee Woo-jin checked his analysis. At least 15 vessels, possibly more. It's the largest concentration of collective forces we've encountered. Perfect. We'll hit them all at once. Commander Park Mina looked concerned. Captain, 15 ships is a lot, even for us. Are you sure we can handle that many? We don't. Need to destroy them all in direct combat, the captain explained. We use their own tactics against them, hit them when they least expect it, target their most critical systems, and make sure none of them can call for help. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra was already planning the modifications they would need. I can improve our stealth systems to handle multiple targets, and I have an idea for a weapon that can disable entire fleets simultaneously. Do it! It's time to show the collective what happens when they threaten humanity. As the Nightborne prepared for its largest engagement yet, the crew knew they were about to change the balance of power in the galaxy. The Veil Collective had ruled through fear and superior technology for millions of years, but they had never faced an enemy that combined advanced technology with human ruthlessness. The aliens harvested species in silence, taking entire populations without warning or explanation. Now humanity was giving them the same treatment, swift, silent destruction with no opportunity for surrender or negotiation. The collective had started this war by attacking defenseless human colonies. Now they were learning what it meant to be hunted by a species that had spent thousands of years perfecting the art of warfare. The silence that had once been the collective's greatest weapon was becoming their greatest fear. In the dark spaces between the stars, human ships moved like ghosts, bringing death to any alien vessel they encountered. The galaxy was about to learn a new rule. When you attack humanity, you don't get to choose how humanity responds. And humanity's response was going to be total, merciless, and absolutely final. The Veil Collective's extermination fleet arrived at the edge of Earth's solar system in perfect formation. 67 ships of various classes moved together like a dark wave of death, confident that they would finally end the human threat that had been destroying their harvesting operations. Admiral Kresh, the crystal being who commanded the fleet, studied the tactical displays from the bridge of his flagship. Begin long-range scans of the human homeworld. Prepare harvesting beams for maximum efficiency. This species has caused enough disruption to our operations. But as the alien fleet moved toward Earth, they found something unexpected waiting for them. The human homeworld was not defenseless. Hundreds of ships surrounded the planet in defensive formations, and massive orbital weapons platforms rotated slowly in the void. "Admiral," reported the navigation officer, "we are detecting significant human military presence. This is not a typical harvesting scenario." Admiral Kresh's crystalline form pulsed with annoyed light. Irrelevant. Human technology is primitive compared to ours. Begin the attack. What the collective fleet did not know was that the UES Nightborne had reached Earth weeks earlier. Captain Kim Dae-ho and his crew had shared everything they had learned about alien tactics, technology, and weaknesses with Earth's military commanders. On Earth's primary defense station, Admiral Chen studied the approaching alien fleet through powerful telescopes. Beside him stood Captain Kim Dae-ho, Commander Park Mina, and Dr. Lee Woo-jin. "They're using the same formation patterns you described," Admiral Chen observed. "Perfect efficiency, no variation, completely predictable." Dr. Lee Woo-jin pointed to his analysis screen. "They're approaching from the most mathematically optimal angle, just like we expected. They can't help themselves. They always choose the most efficient route, which means they're flying directly into our trap," Commander Park Mina said with grim satisfaction. Captain Kim Dae-ho activated the communication system. "All ships, this is Captain Kim. Remember what we've learned about these aliens. They expect us to fight like every other species they've encountered. They expect formal battles, predictable tactics, and eventual surrender." His voice carried to every human ship in the defense fleet. "But we're not every other species. We're humans, and humans don't surrender." The battle began when the collective fleet came within range of Earth's orbital weapons. But instead of the concentrated energy attacks the aliens expected, the human weapons-fired projectiles enhanced with captured alien phasing technology. The kinetic rounds passed through the collective ship's shields like they weren't there and struck the hulls directly. The alien vessels, designed to absorb energy weapons, had no defense against solid projectiles that could phase through their defenses. "Impossible," Admiral Kresh stated as his flagship's hull was punctured in 17 places. "Human technology should not be capable of bypassing our shields." His navigation officer's crystalline structure flickered with confusion. "Admiral, our defensive algorithms have no protocols for this type of attack." That was exactly what Captain Kim Dae-ho had hoped for. The aliens had spent millions of years perfecting defenses against energy weapons, particle beams, and quantum disruptors. But they had never encountered enemies who combined advanced alien technology with primitive human concepts, like throwing rocks really hard. The human fleet attacked in ways that made no sense to alien tactical computers. Ships would ram enemy vessels when their weapons failed. Crews would continue fighting even when their ships were heavily damaged. Human commanders made decisions that appeared completely irrational, but proved devastatingly effective. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra, now aboard the defense station, coordinated the hybrid weapon systems that had been installed throughout the human fleet. "All ships activate neural scrambling fields, disrupt their hive mind coordination." The insect ships in the collective fleet immediately began having problems. Their pilots could no longer communicate effectively with their command ships. Small fighter craft collided with each other as their coordination broke down. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo led boarding parties that teleported directly into alien ships using captured teleportation technology. But instead of trying to capture the vessels, the Marines planted explosive charges and teleported back to their own ships. "This is barbaric," one of the energy beings transmitted to Admiral Kresh. "They are destroying perfectly functional ships instead of capturing them for study. Human tactics are wasteful and inefficient," Admiral Kresh agreed. But privately, he was beginning to understand why his fleets had been disappearing. These humans fought with a combination of advanced technology and primitive savagery that his species had never encountered. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook, flying a modified human fighter, demonstrated another human advantage. While alien pilots flew in perfect formation using mathematical precision, human pilots flew creatively, unpredictably, and with a willingness to take risks that no logical computer would approve. Their targeting systems can't lock onto our fighters, he reported. They're programmed to track enemies who fly in orderly patterns. Dr. Li Wu-jin had positioned himself aboard one of the orbital weapons platforms. I'm detecting confusion in their command structure. They're trying to apply harvesting protocols to a military engagement. Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin was monitoring alien transmissions from the Earth Defense Center. Captain, they're arguing among themselves. The three species can't agree on how to respond to our tactics. The crystal beings wanted to retreat and analyze the human fighting methods. The insect species insisted on following their original attack plan. The energy beings demanded immediate escalation to planet-destroying weapons. They're not used to setbacks, Captain Kim Dae-ho observed. Every other species they've fought has either surrendered quickly or been defeated easily. They don't know how to adapt when their opponents fight back effectively. As the battle continued, the human defenders revealed more surprises. They used captured alien stealth technology to make their ships appear and disappear unpredictably. They employed neural disruption weapons against the energy beings, causing them to lose cohesion and flicker out of existence. Most disturbing to the collective was the human willingness to accept casualties. When alien ships destroyed human vessels, the remaining human ships didn't retreat or negotiate. They became more aggressive, more determined, and more dangerous. Admiral Kresh watched his fleet being systematically destroyed by enemies who should have been helpless against collective technology. Communications Officer, send a priority message to the High Command. Request immediate reinforcement by the primary fleet. Unable to comply, Admiral. The humans are jamming all our communication frequencies. Then we are trapped here until we achieve victory, the Admiral realized, but victory was becoming increasingly unlikely. The human defense fleet had been designed specifically to counter collective tactics. Every weakness the Nightborne had discovered was being exploited. Every advantage the aliens possessed was being neutralized by human creativity and determination. Commander Park Mina coordinated the final phase of the battle from the defense station. All ships implement Protocol 7, full assault, no mercy. The remaining human ships attacked with everything they had. Phasing torpedoes materialized inside alien hulls. Boarding parties teleported onto enemy bridges and took control of critical systems. Ramming attacks destroyed alien vessels that had never been designed to withstand such crude but effective tactics. Admiral Kresh's flagship was one of the last ships still fighting. As human Marines teleported onto his bridge, he transmitted a final message to his crew. We have encountered an enemy unlike any other. They do not fight for efficiency or logic. They fight for survival, and they are willing to sacrifice everything to achieve it. The battle ended with the complete destruction of the collective extermination fleet. Not a single alien ship escaped to report back to their commanders. The silence that had once been the collective's greatest weapon was now being used against them. As the wreckage of alien vessels drifted through Earth's orbital space, Dr. Li Wu-jin made a disturbing discovery. Captain, I've been analyzing their ship logs. This wasn't their only extermination fleet. What do you mean? They have 3 more fleets of similar size positioned throughout the galaxy. And now that this fleet has failed to report back, they'll know that Earth is defended. Captain Kim Dae-ho looked at the tactical displays showing human casualties from the battle. They had won, but at a terrible cost. Then we need to take the fight to them before they can organize another attack. Admiral Chen joined the conversation. Captain, Earth Command is authorizing the construction of a new fleet based on hybrid human-alien technology, but it will take months to build enough ships. We don't have months, Captain Kim Dae-ho replied. The Nightborne is still operational. We'll take the fight to the collective's home territory. As Earth began to recover from the battle, the crew of the Nightborne prepared for their most dangerous mission yet. They had proven that humans could defeat the Veil Collective in direct combat. Now they needed to ensure that the aliens could never threaten humanity again. 6 months after the Battle of Earth, the UES Nightborne moved through what had once been the heart of the Veil Collective's empire. Captain Kim Dae-ho stood on the bridge, watching the massive Dyson sphere that had served as the aliens' capital for millions of years. The enormous structure, built around an entire star, was completely dark and silent. Final scan complete, Dr. Lee Woo-jin reported from his science station. No life signs anywhere in the sphere. The collective's evacuation appears to have been total. Commander Park Mina studied the tactical displays. It's hard to believe. 3 months ago, this was the center of a galactic empire. Now it's a ghost structure. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra monitored the modified human fleet that followed the Nightborne. 27 ships, all equipped with hybrid human-alien technology, spread out through the system to establish monitoring stations. The new fleet is performing perfectly, Captain. Human engineering combined with collective technology has created ships more advanced than anything either species built alone. The campaign against the Veil Collective had been swift and devastating. Once humanity understood alien tactics and weaknesses, the war became a systematic extermination operation. Human fleets had swept through collective space, offering no negotiations, accepting no surrenders, and leaving no alien ships operational. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo came onto the bridge, his armor still bearing scars from the final battles. The last collective stronghold in the Rigel sector has been secured. My Marines found evidence that some aliens escaped in small ships, but their main fleets are completely destroyed. Where did the survivors go? Captain Kim Dae-ho asked. Dr. Lee Woo-jin consulted his analysis. Based on energy trail signatures, most fled toward the galactic rim. They're probably hiding in uninhabited systems, trying to avoid any contact with human forces. Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin looked up from her station. Captain, I'm detecting a transmission from the galactic core. It's not from any human source. Put it on the main screen. The viewing screen showed a being unlike any they had encountered before. It appeared to be made of crystalline structures, similar to the collective's crystal species, but older and more complex. When it spoke, its voice carried harmonics that suggested vast intelligence and age. I am Curator Veltar of the Custodian. Assembly, we have been observing your species' conflict with the Veil Collective. We wish to communicate with your leaders. Captain Kim Dae-ho stepped forward. I am Captain Kim Dae-ho of the United Earth ship Nightborne. Who are the custodians? We are the species responsible for maintaining stability in this galaxy. For 67 million years, we have prevented the rise of aggressive civilizations that might threaten galactic peace. Commander Park Mina whispered to the captain. This sounds like a threat. The alien continued speaking. The Veil Collective served as our enforcement arm for the past 3 million years. They removed species that showed dangerous expansion patterns before those species could become a threat to established civilizations. Dr. Lee Woo-jin felt a chill of understanding. Captain, I think the collective wasn't just harvesting random species. They were preventing the rise of potential rivals. The collective harvested your colonies to prevent humanity from expanding beyond your home system, Curator Veltar confirmed. Species that combine advanced technology with aggressive Expansion must be contained before they destabilize the galactic order. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook checked his star charts. If they've been doing this for 3 million years, how many species have they eliminated? Thousands, the custodian replied without emotion. The galaxy is a more peaceful place because of their efforts. Captain Kim Dae-ho felt anger building in his chest. The aliens weren't just conquerors, they were gardeners, pruning the galaxy to maintain their vision of order. And now you want to discuss humanity's place in this order? Your species has demonstrated remarkable combat capability. You destroyed the collective in a matter of months, something no other species has achieved. This presents us with an interesting situation. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra was analyzing the transmission. Captain, this signal is coming from the galactic core, but I'm detecting similar signatures from all across the galaxy. These custodians have a massive presence. We offer humanity a choice, Curator Veltar continued. Join the galactic community as a controlled species, accepting limitations on your expansion and technology development. In return, you will be allowed to maintain your existing colonies and live in peace. And if we refuse, Commander Park, Mina asked, then you will be classified as a galactic threat, and appropriate measures will be taken. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo stepped forward. Are you threatening us? The custodian's crystalline form shifted slightly. We are explaining reality. The galaxy requires order. Species that threaten that order are removed. Dr. Lee Woo-jin was studying the aliens' technology through their transmission. Captain, their signal is incredibly sophisticated. They're using technology that makes the collective look primitive. Captain Kim Dae-ho considered the situation. Humanity had just proven they could defeat one galactic power, but the custodians claimed to be much older and more advanced. Yet something about the aliens' manner suggested they were not as confident as they appeared. Tell me something, the captain said to the custodian. If you're so powerful, why didn't you stop us from destroying the collective? Why wait until now to contact us? Curator Veltar was silent for a long moment. Your tactics were unexpected. We did not anticipate that a species would combine captured alien technology with primitive warfare concepts. The collective's defeat required us to reassess your threat level. Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin was monitoring other frequencies during the conversation. Captain, I'm detecting increased activity throughout the galaxy. Ships are moving, communications are increasing. I think our conversation is being broadcast to other species. The galaxy is watching, Commander Park Mina realized. Other species want to know what humanity will do. Dr. Lee Woo-jin made a disturbing discovery. Captain, I'm analyzing the quantum signatures from the custodian's technology. It's similar to the collective systems, but much more complex. I think the custodians created the collective. The revelation changed everything. The Veil Collective hadn't been an independent empire. They had been tools of an even older and more powerful civilization that used them to control the galaxy. You created the collective to do your dirty work, Captain Kim Dae-ho accused. We provided them with technology and purpose, Curator Veltar admitted. They served the galaxy well for 3 million years. They served you, Commander Park Minai corrected. They eliminated any species that might challenge your control. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra was studying the technical data. Captain, their technology is advanced, but it follows the same patterns as the collective. Efficient, logical, predictable. They might have the same weaknesses. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo understood the implications. They're offering us a choice because they're not sure they can defeat us. Your assessment is partially correct, the custodian said. Your species represents an unknown variable. You combine technological advancement with unpredictable tactics and absolute determination. This makes you difficult to calculate. Navigation Officer Han Ji-wook was plotting courses through the galaxy. Captain, if we wanted to reach the galactic core, it would take several months, even with our hybrid drives. But we wouldn't need to reach the core, Dr. Lee Woo-jin pointed out. The custodians have installations throughout the galaxy. We could target their regional facilities and disrupt their network. Captain Kim Dae-ho made his decision. Curator Veltar, humanity rejects your offer. We will not accept limitations on our expansion or development. And we will not allow you to control other species the way you controlled the collective. The custodian's form flickered with what might have been surprise. You would choose conflict with a civilization that has maintained galactic order for 67 million years? We choose freedom, the captain replied firmly, for ourselves and for every other species you've been suppressing. Communications Officer Kang Yu-jin was monitoring reactions across the galaxy. Captain, I'm detecting responses from dozens of species. Many are asking for humanity's protection against the custodians. They're all species that would have been targeted by the collective eventually, Dr. Lee Woo-jin realized. They see humanity as their only hope for survival. Curator Veltar's image became clearer, more focused. You do not understand the consequences of your decision. Without the custodians, the galaxy will descend into chaos. Species will war against each other for resources and territory. Maybe, Commander Park Min-na acknowledged, but that's better than having ancient overlords decide which species deserve to exist. Chief Engineer Yoon So-ra had been analyzing the custodians' technology throughout the conversation. Captain, I think I understand their weakness. They've been in control for so long that they can't adapt to unexpected challenges, just like the collective. Lieutenant Colonel Cho Hyun-woo was already planning military